left with a methodology that can't possibly investigate this matter.
You can watch the full debate at your leisure, but we just don't get a solution to this problem. Dr. Shermer wants evidence of God's existence, but given his methodology, nothing God could ever do would count as evidence that he exists. God could heal every amputee in the world, but it wouldn't be evidence for God's existence, because aliens could have done it.
Jinkies!
Now, when a person says, "Prove to me that statement X is true," but an examination of his methodology shows that he won't allow anything to count as evidence that statement X is true, how can we take that demand for proof seriously? This is why when atheists send me messages saying, "Prove to me that God exists," I almost never give them an argument for God's existence. Instead, I reply, "I'd be happy to prove to you that God exists, but I don't want to send proof to someone who doesn't exist, so before I prove to you that God exists, prove to me that you exist." Then I dial my skeptometer up to 10, just like the atheist was about to do when he demanded proof for God's existence. So I get another message from the atheist saying, "I obviously exist since I'm sending you these messages." But I'm a skeptic, so I ask, well, how do I know that someone's pet monkey isn't just slapping a keyboard? If something as sophisticated as DNA can form by chance, surely a monkey could type your messages by chance, especially with all of the misspelled words. Or maybe someone created an atheist message generator, which mindlessly sends out these messages and is even programmed with responses, all to waste the time of Christians. So we go back and forth, and eventually the atheist says, "Look, I'll buy a plane ticket and come see you." To which I reply, how would that be any evidence at all? Even if you came to see me, how would I know that I'm not dreaming? How would I know that I'm not in the Matrix? How would I know that I'm not a brain in a vat that's being controlled by some mad scientist? How would I know that powerful aliens aren't just tricking me into believing that you came to see me? And so we never actually get to a discussion of the evidence for God's existence, because when I use the atheist's methodology against him, he can't even prove his own existence.
This just gets better and better!
The point here is that we can always explain away evidence. In the first century, thousands of people saw Jesus perform miracles, and the leaders had him crucified. How could they explain away all those miracles? Easy. They said that Jesus performed miracles by the power of demons, and that would explain the miracles, wouldn't it? If Jesus were walking among us today, people would explain away his miracles by appealing to illusion or to deception, or, if all else fails, to powerful aliens. But the atheists who are watching are saying, no, if God performed a miracle, we'd believe in him. If God healed an amputee, we'd convert right now. Seriously? You have no problem with an entire universe exploding out of nowhere, but an arm growing would make you a believer? You don't think it's at all strange that non-living matter rearranged itself to form life, but if a living arm grew out of a living body, you'd never dream of ignoring or explaining away the evidence? My atheist friends, by constantly demanding evidence while proving over and over again that evidence is completely meaningless to you and that your methodology is designed to help you avoid conclusions that you don't like, you're not showing us that there's no evidence for God's existence. All you're showing us is that
you're in denial!
And you might have gotten away with it too, if it wasn't for us meddling Christians.